Okay boys, the game number 3, we have the blue Dwarven player Sauron, who is 2-0 behind in the best of 9, versus the red Dwarven player Ave on the right side. On a beautiful map, Fiesta, which is not a big map, but again, keep in mind that dwarves have a crazy snowball potential. So if you get a lead, you can easily snowball your lead into a very quick victory. So it might be rough actually, you know, when you think about this. It might be a very quick game. So all it takes is one push, and then during the push you bring your builder, you build a mineshaft and you bring reinforcements all the time, and it's hard to play against that. It's gonna be 2 mineshaft into the Hall of Warriors opening for Ave, and here we have the same situation for Sauron, 2 mineshafts, Hall of Warriors. The one thing you need to study first, you need to understand about the game in Rise of the Witch King, is the build order. Build order, what to do in the maps, in the matchups, you know. And once you figure this out, you can get through the early game, and then your mid-game decision making and your macro is gonna be the deciding factor. But here we are talking about a very high skill level gameplay of Rise of the Witch King. There are not many people who can beat those 2 players. They are definitely, and they have always been the top 10 of this game since they play Rise of the Witch King. And what is impressive about this is that they're also playing the same skill level in BFME2. So remember, you know, to the top 4 people, we had 3 original BFME2 players. Andy Brandy, Ave, and Sauron, and 2 of them made it even to the grand finals. Builders, they have like they are greeting each other, salute. There comes a mineshaft here for Ave, but I think Sauron was able to spot this. It's gonna be a pikeman opening, and the plan is to creep. And that's gonna be the same situation also on the opposite side of the map. Sauron is gonna creep this troll layer top, and Ave, the troll layer bottom. And remember, dwarves can capture this inn later on, which will give them a chance to recruit the hobbits from the Shire. Hobbits, they have been nerfed a bit, they are now more expensive, but they can be still great, because the thing is, dwarven frontline is very strong. The phalanxes plus the guardians, they can be a very solid and strong frontline, and your hobbits in the backline with throw rocks ability can deal great amount of damage, because it's hard to get to them. The unit blocking is gonna be quite massive, so frontline, that's gonna be the main primary army from dwarves, so they will most of the time recruit guardians and phalanxes. But later on, we will also hopefully see some battle wagons to spot them. Remember, battle wagons can be massive. The difference between winning the fight and losing the fight is they are providing leadership and also the sustain. With the well and the statue, you know, on the battle wagon as an upgrade. Mineshaft is building up here for Sauron. He's gonna move on to the Warclair now. And let's see if Ave is gonna do the same. He was not capturing this inn, and nor did Sauron. They are not looking to recruit Hellbitzes anytime soon. Okay, so the plan, you know what I would love to see, and something we don't see very often lately, are siege hammers. So you get this to level 2, which will cost you not much, 300, and then you can buy the siege hammers, and they will give you the chance to destroy the fortress in like 2 seconds. I'm not even kidding, I believe 2-3 guardians with siege hammers rallying cold buff, they can take down the fortress in like no time, okay? No time. So far, no harassment. A banner can also be very good here. Remember, you can buy banner from a level 2 Hall of Warriors, so you can give the banner to the guardians and they will unlock the charge attack, which will replace the buff of the war chant or rallying call in this case completely. For heroes, I think Gloin could be nice, King Brain could be nice, Gimli of course could be nice, but it's very expensive. Later on we might see some zealots from the Hall of Warriors level 3, those elite units. But I think before this happens, we will see definitely some battle wagon action. The question is, will you go for the battle wagons immediately, or will you go for the second Hall of Warriors first? Will you try to spam a bit more, or will you try to make your army stronger? 2 creeps against 1. The last creep, remaining creep is this one. Guardians are chilling over here, they are level 2, they can respawn over time, no problem. It's a guardian fight here between blue and the red guardians, but it's a 2v1 situation and Ave will lose this. It's a very interesting mirror, because in this mirror you have no weakness, right? Your weakness would be the lack of movement speed, which doesn't really mean a lot here. Normally you could never get away, because your units are slower than any other unit from any other faction, but in this matchup you can get away. It's gonna be Gloin for both the players simultaneously. They are pretty much doing the same thing. There comes Gloin, the mineshaft has been crushed. Gloin is very important hero. With level 4, the Shake Foundation can definitely hurt you a lot. Hall of Warriors level 1. Will we see another hero? That's a big question. I think King Dean could be also a very good hero here, by the way, because of the leadership sport. But you know, the problem is your leadership sport for King Dean might be quite expensive, and you don't really need that. King Dean also additionally gives you fear resistance with the Stubborn Pride, but you won't need this either until Dwarves getting to the Cloud Break, which is a late game thing, right? And the question is, will you go for the Cloud Break? Because Barrage and also Man of Steel could be a better choice in most cases. Rallying Call push, 2 Guardians and Gloin. Now, will Avi defend this? There comes the Hall of Warriors number 2. And the same situation also for Sauron, Hall of Warriors number 2. Gloin will be used for defense, he's level 2, has the Slam on cooldown. And this dude can use Slam now, by the way, he's also level 2. He's trying to make it, you can see the damage output from Gloin is kind of massive. He's chunking this solo, like it's made of paper. And every time he's doing this, he will get lots of experience. There comes Gloin level 3 for Avi. He's able to defend this Guardians, but the Gloin will destroy your Mineshaft, get a whole level of that, and only 1 level away from the Shake Foundation. In the meantime, Sauron will be able to spot and destroy this Mineshaft here from Avi. The Phalanxes, they won't be able to enter, and they will die to the Guardians right after. So now you have no catch potential here. He can just run away. You have no unit to, you know, chase him with. And we still don't see any Battle Wagon action. I don't know why not. I think Battle Wagon could be quite nice. He's trying to get level 4 here, by the way, but don't be too greedy. The thing is, Dwarves are always greedy, you know? They're always greedy. Okay. Mineshaft here is gonna be found by by Sauron, and will be destroyed. Lots of economical damage dealt to Avi. After the first couple of minutes into the game, we have Avi sitting on 500 command points as for now. 525 actually. And he has 3 power points after heal and rallying call. His opponent is up to 10 power points after the rallying call. So slight power point advantage for Sauron, slight command point advantage for Avi. And with the 10 power point, I think you can go for the Undermine, or you can go for the Hobbit Summon. I think Hobbit Summon it's gonna be. I'm pretty certain about that one actually. Remember, Hobbits can definitely take down the heroes. Hobbits in this game dealing bonus damage to heroes. It means Gloin from Avi might die to this. It is the Gloin, he was able to save this Mineshaft barely. You see it's 1 HP. And there comes the Shake Foundation. Watch this. He almost one-shot this. Avi can repair this, but he has no power points for this. And if he doesn't get it, he won't get it in time. He had 5 power points, but he couldn't unlock it fast enough. There goes down the first Hall of Warriors. It means a Barak advantage now for Sauron. 575 command points for Avi. And 625 for Avi and 500 for Sauron. But look at this damage, dude. It's crazy damage, actually. Look at this. I think Gloin was the best call here for both the players. He's so tanky. And the only weakness is not a weakness anymore in this matchup. So he can do this all day long, right? He can go around, destroy Mineshaft and get away. Who's gonna catch him? Nobody. There is no catch potential unless you recruit Battle Wagons, but also they won't deal too much damage to the heroes like Gloin. Avi keeps recruiting those Hobbits. They cost 200 each. So remember, they used to cost 150 in the past. But in this beta, lots of stuff has been changed, including the money income. So you basically get more money, faster money. In the Hobbits with Rock Throw, they don't deal too much damage to the building, so you need to use your sticks. There comes the rebuild on this Mineshaft here from Avi to keep this one protected. But remember, Avi went for all the 5 power points from the spare book. He has Rallying Call here and Rebuild. The good thing is, Rebuild is going to lead you later on to the Dwarven Riches, which Avi might choose. But in most cases, having additional summon can be more rewarding. So here's the Hobbit Summon with Rallying Call combination. He can use it eventually all together here on the spot and buff them all together. I think that's going to be his plan. Now you can Rallying Call them all. There comes Rallying Call. And remember, the Hobbits, they can counter the heroes. These Hobbits, they are going down, and Gloin from Avi has to pay attention. Shake Foundation is reloading, and this Gloin is level 5. This Gloin is almost level 5 as well. There comes the Rallying Call push from Avi. The opposite push. The Mineshaft level 2 has no protection. He has no rebuild from the spellbook either, so he will have to give it up. It's a level 2 Mineshaft, which means minus 75 command points. Same also to this Mineshaft over here. So that's gonna be the last remaining level 2 Mineshaft from Avi too. But Avi is expanding a bit better in this game. That's why he has more command points available. But of course, losing this hurts. Shake Foundation, almost available. There is 2 barracks, but this one might be getting one-shotted. Remember, the rebuild from Avi is still on cooldown. He cannot use this to save this. I think the Shake Foundation will be used to destroy this barracks, which again will buy some time. There comes the Shake Foundation here from Ave. And he was able to destroy one of the barracks, no problem. Level 5 Gloin. The fortress is shooting. And he is also producing more and more units. There comes the heal from Ave on his Guardians. And he will just keep pushing. But I don't know if it's smart here or not. I don't think he will be able to deal way more damage than that. In the meantime, this has been destroyed. Shake Foundation has not even been used on that one. It means he can eventually use it on the second one. And no barracks means you lose lots of momentum in this game. Gloin is gonna get away, no problem. Okay. He's gonna destroy the mineshaft first, why not? Look at his damage. He's receiving almost no damage at all from the towers. He's just too tanky for them. And look at this one-man army, man. Who would have thought that Gloin is gonna be the one-man army here, right? I think, yeah, Rebuild is still on cooldown. He can definitely do this. Boom, you see, almost one-shotting a level 1 4000 HP, and he's single-handedly destroying this. That was the last remaining barracks for AV2. He cannot produce any more units anytime soon. What a game from Sauron. He's returning strong after being 2-0 behind. He has a barracks advantage. It means he can produce more units, which AV can't. AV can only recruit the hobbits. That's all he can do. Or go for a hero. And he has not many units remaining on the field anymore, right? No, he has actually not. He was going for the hobbit summon though. The mineshaft here is going to be destroyed as well. The Guardians, they are smashing those hobbits in a one-on-one situation in melee fight, no problem. Level 3 Guardians, look at them go. And this Gloin, the Gloins, both of them actually, have been doing such a phenomenal job in this game. They don't even stop, they keep going. What a performance. Yeah, Gloin maybe is the best hero in this matchup. Because in this game, the structural damage is so rewarding, right? You destroy a mineshaft, it's like a win-win situation. And how are you gonna catch him now? Can those hobbits catch you though? That's the question Peregrine took. Nah, they can't. You see, they can't. And as long as he keeps running away, you can't do anything about this. Like, oh, maybe he can. Oh, and he's gonna call it. Avi's gonna call it Gloin the MVP. We have the blue Man of the West player, Sauron, versus the red Dwarven player, Avi. The thing is, Sauron played only one time with men, and he lost this against Ingmar. And Avi played dwarves with once also, and he also lost it. So it's gonna be a victory for one of these two players. It's a 1-0. He lost one game with dwarves, and he lost one game with men. Double farm coming up for men, and double mineshaft coming up for dwarves. So let's talk about this matchup. I think it's gonna be kind of important. You can't build the offensive barracks against dwarves. You shouldn't. Because the Guardians are out damaging your soldiers in a one-on-one situation big time, and they can also take down your fortress or your barracks in a few seconds. So you need to be a bit more careful. Scouting is going to be very important. The transitioning into something stronger might be also very important. Maybe theory in early game can be quite rewarding with the leadership. So you can, with leadership, maybe you can get your soldiers stronger compared to the Guardians. And that might be the most important thing. Because we will eventually see melee units pretty much all the time. What is also good against dwarves are actually archers, because they can keep shooting before they can get to the range, and they can disengage whenever they want to. Remember, they are very strong, super tanky, but they are extremely slow, and they have no catch potential. So you camping here with a couple of archers or rangers later on might be quite difficult to break through. It looks like he's gonna build a mineshaft to this troll layer. And the plan is simple. Recruit the phalanxes, use them, creep this, and get money. Get level 2, get experience points, and also power points. Soldiers. Into the second soldier. So it looks like he's gonna scout this area with the soldier. Scouting, once again, extremely important in this matchup. We see 3 mineshaft around the fortress into the Guardians after the phalanxes. They're coming out now to the mineshaft here. And he's scouting, as you can see. He's scouting if he's creeping this or not, because it's a very common thing to creep this troll layer. We have seen this also in the previous game. And he will be able to find those phalanxes. And once the troll is dead, he can contest this. The pikes are very weak against swordmen, and they have like no disengage potential, because soldiers are faster than them. So they need to bring those Guardians to this location if he doesn't want to lose the creep. Oh, they are committing to the creep now. It's a 50-50 situation though. Who's gonna get the last hit, and who's gonna get the money? The drop, and he got most of the money. It's actually very good. He got the last hit too on the rubble. That's why they are level 2. Rallying call, but I think Awe can disengage from this situation, right? He can just get away into the mineshaft and should be good to go. He's gonna get away with the phalanxes. He's gonna lose the guardians, but I think it's still worth it for Awe big time because he didn't use rallying call, he stole the money, and he got the creep too, right? It's a win-win situation, and he will have now the buff advantage on his side. We need to keep an eye on the builders though. That's gonna be the most important thing here. It's a mistake from Awe to fight this with non-buffed guardians against buffed soldiers, unless he's deciding to buff this because the mineshaft has been destroyed. Soldier is hitting level 2. It's a 2v1 situation after all, and losing the second guardian on the spot was definitely not necessary. Now the question is, can he destroy this? He's dealing great amount of damage to this. Oh, it's gonna go down too. Awe now, it was looking so good for him. He's making now big mistakes. Big mistakes. It's gonna go down. The builder can't get in there. Oh, it's the most important mineshaft. The mineshaft next to your production buildings, in this case the barracks or the forge works, is the most important one because you need to use this. The second your units enter the battlefield, you send them into the mineshaft and then you can get them out wherever you want. When you don't have this, you need to rebuild this now, right? It's gonna cost you time and money, of course. Man is untouched during all this time, by the way. 550 command points against 350. That's a huge command point differential for Sauron in the game number 4. Who was not starting very strong in the previous 2 games. In the first 2 games. But now he's looking very, very strong. And you see the lack of movement speed is coming in so clutch. And that's the biggest weakness ever. Because you cannot really defend properly. You know, you need to get out, get around them. It just takes you too much time. And you lose the tempo game. Tempo is so important. Maybe not in this matchup, because the men units are not the fastest units either, but in this matchup, when you play against elves, for example, even Ents can kite you. You need to kill this soldier, by the way. He can destroy this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. When you lose this to this one soldier... okay. Look, he's losing so much time doing this, right? You know? That was so close, actually. That was so close. Okay. The battle wagon, no upgrade on it. So you need to be careful to not get touched by the pikemen. If they touch you, you die. Oh, be careful, Awe. He's gonna use the oil barrel. Okay. Now you need to disengage. The oil barrel also deals damage to your own units, by the way. The fire on the ground. But there was no fire on the ground to begin with. For whatever reason. It's kind of random. Sometimes there is fire on the ground that stays there for a while. Sometimes the fire doesn't even pop off. It's kind of very, very RNG based, I believe. It's kind of very random. That's a huge push, though. Oh my goodness. Rallying call is almost available for man. Dwarves have been using it before. Trample. Nice micro from Awe here. But don't get touched by the pikeman. I think this is going to be going down. Does he have rebuild? And no, he doesn't have the power points that comes to rallying call. He might get the power points just in time. Beautiful trample. The soldier has separated. He has the power points now. It's a big, big W over there for Awe, though. That's a nice move. He slaughtered all the man army without losing a single structure. He got so many power points from this battle, and that gives him such a great counter push potential. That's crazy. Okay. In the meantime, he's losing, of course, more mineshafts, but Eowyn is also on the field. A very interesting hero. Has the best ability in the game, the disguise. You can look like a Rohirrim, you know. Who can figure out that you are not a Rohirrim? Smite, maybe. I want to see how much Smite is going to chunk him. Actually, decent chunking. Okay. Like 2 smites and you can one-shot this Ben, I think. Alright. Again, a very important unit for dwarves. And Eoma coming up next, so we will get to see the Rohan heroes from the men faction. Maybe Theoden would be more important later on, because Theoden is the only one who gives leadership to the infantry, and that's your army right now. You have no stable, you have no Gondor Knights, you have double barracks. Oh, maybe spear throw? You need to be level 4 for the spear throw though, right? Level 2 actually, okay? Okay. But man is pushing from this location. There is only one phalanx which can't really stop this push. So they have leadership, but Eowyn will be able to smite one more time. There comes a trample, but you can see Eowyn receiving so much revenge damage from trampling down the guardians. Eoma cannot, still not throw a spear, and the pikemen, they cannot counter his guardians. The only thing is, Awe has no heal. It means one more spear throw on this battle wagon, it's gonna go definitely down, unless Awe gets healed before this happens, which he might get because he's very close to it. Now here's the heal. but it was too late, and there comes the long spear shot. Leadership from dwarves is gone. It's a very important leadership. You deal constant more damage and being constant more tanky. Eoma is getting in safety. Now can turn and use spear throw as well. Eoma's spear deals splash damage in this game, but just boom. You can hit multiple units at the same time. Okay. Not in Rise of the Witch King. You need to be level 2. But in Rise of the Witch King, you have leadership with level 1. Eowyn being dismounted has the Shield Maiden of Rohan ability for 100% more armor, which actually is quite a lot. And 7 power points for dwarves, and man is up to 10. So the Battle Wagon, as you can see, is doing a good job avoiding those, Rohan Spearman units. And the question is, what will the PowerPoint choice be? There comes Theorin for the leadership spot. Maybe Hobbits could be nice, because Hobbits, Rallying Call, leadership combination. I don't think Lone Tower is going to be rewarding, because there is no archer to put inside. So when you have, like, I don't think towers are good against dwarves, because they can destroy this literally in a few seconds, right? The guardians are just too strong, they are tanky, they hit very hard. So maybe hobbits for more, but he's not gonna go for it, okay? Theorin is being chunked. Look how squishy he is. He's dying to the tower in a few seconds. Beautiful oil barrel coming in clutch. Don't lose your Theorin to the tower. The fortress is single-handedly killing Theorin in a few seconds. What is his armor resistance? Okay, that goes down the fourth force. I think rebuild was not avoidable. It's a huge man army with double buff. Theorin has to just stay closer to them, and he might even be able to commit to the fortress. But there are too many mine shafts, especially this one here and this one here. They are very important. They are both level 2. There comes a spear throw, but not even needed, as Battle Wagon is getting chunked by the pikeman, and he's gonna call it. And that's gonna be the second victory for Sauron, starting on a bad foot, being 2-0 behind and making the score 2-2.